it looks like some of the IMAX theater owners aren't very happy about it either, being forced to play Narnia, because it said in the article that if the theaters don't want to play it, IMAX has a nuclear option to force them to play it.
Interesting.
Which I'm assuming is like taking them off the IMAX list or whatever, taking them off that branding.
It's a threat.
Yeah, it's a threat, which is crazy.
And the timing of it too, and around Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
next year, I believe is
next
what it
year
said.
or 2 years from now, probably.
Which is always a huge release era.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
So, and to hijack IMAX screens for that.
This is the Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. Now, here are your hosts, Cody, Kyle, and Ken.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Off the Break Podcast. I am Kyle, and joining me today is Alyssa and Shayla.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey guys, how's the week been?
It's been great.
It has been great.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been starting to do kids shows for the first time for your bookings now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of came in, we started at the tail end when we started, which was almost a year ago, which is wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been booking a lot, getting in all those bookings.
Yeah.
It's
a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, despite the summer season with all the new releases, it always felt like watching all the bookers that it's not so much the new stuff that's the most stressful. It is the mini kids shows that you guys are dealing with.
Yeah, all the repertory stuff. I mean, Cody does most of the first run stuff, so she probably deals with a lot of the stress from that, but the repertory bookings are
all over the place
and all the time.
Yeah. Each week brings something new.
Yep.
So in case of anyone stumbling on the podcast or is like a new theater or something that may not know, kids shows are just like older kids movies that just are put up for like events or just for special screenings, or like what is that defining thing about them?
Yeah, they're shows from at least usually the studios we do: Universal, Sony, Paramount. Warner Brothers has a couple, but those are the big three. And you can kind of play them how you like. Some do it on like a Tuesday as a matinee, or as a matinee over a stretch of time. You can do that too. You can do them for free. You can still charge a discounted price. Some people like to do it for free as kind of like a daycare for the summer almost.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where you make all your money on concessions. So it pays back.
Okay.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Wait, cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you guys were just saying, it's coming up on your guys' first year doing this, which also means it's your first kids show, because like you said, you were just after that. So yeah, I guess, like, how was the first few months for you guys? Like, I know you had your first experiences for like the holidays booking movies, and then your experiences post booking in the January February quarter.
Oof.
Maybe
that was
March,
rough.
a little April.
It's a bleak time.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Were you guys warned about it ahead of time when you were going through the training of it? I have to imagine that they told you about like how the seasons like come and go and the dips that come with it.
I think there was kind of like an overall thing, but one thing you go, oh, surely it can't be that bad.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
real.
No,
I don't think
was.
anybody can prepare you for that. It's oh gosh.
Well, you guys powered through it, and it seems like you're doing a great job with the kids showings, and yeah,
thanks. We're
awesome.
trying.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's like 2 weeks of just making requests every single day, and then it's done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just a lot of requests. So kind of the paranoia of like, I requested that one, right? Okay, yes, I did. Okay, wait, that was free versus admission? No, okay, we're good.
Is there not like a checklist where you can just cross them off, or is it still just paranoia?
There is, but it's also like Shayla will do some, and then I'll do some, and then we'll have people last minute who are like, oh, I am doing this. And it's like, okay, I'll add this onto this request. Or, oh, hey, wait, I actually want to change this. So it's just a lot of cross-checking and...
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you have like 100 requests on one sheet, it's hard to go through every single one and like cross-reference and everything. But we're doing our best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a great job too.
Yay.
So we can hop off of that to talk about a little bit of Thunderbolts, because it made its projections, made about $75 million in its opening weekend, which we are happy to see. I know for maybe some people in the industry, they're so used to Marvel movies having their over 100 million grosses, but projection wise and just for a little bit of the unknown of these characters and stuff, I think it was kind of fitting. It worked, and it seemed to have good buzz, which helped for the opening of it. But there's now something coming through with the marketing to where it looks like there is a title change from Thunderbolts to the New Avengers. And I just could see people in the industry, businesses, wondering if they need to change the name of the movie from Thunderbolts to New Avengers because the marketing is playing into that quite a bit. Are you guys getting those?
No,
questions?
not yet. It's just it's out there. So
Yeah. Nothing official has come out about that, like if it's an official name change or not. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Just keep your signage as Thunderbolts. Keep everything as is. If you get new marketing with New Avengers stuff in it, play into it. Why not?
Yeah.
Get creative yourself if you want to. But otherwise, this isn't one of those situations where we see a movie all of a sudden have like a name change. Like I remember, do you guys remember that Birds of Prey movie from a few years back? The one with Margot Robbie? Mm-hmm. It used to have like a crazy long name.
Yeah. Whoa, what was that?
I can't even remember all the words that would jump up into it.
It was a lot.
I'll try to
something
look it
of
up
Harley
now.
Quinn, I think.
It was like Harley Quinn and the Emancipation of...
yeah, maybe that was it. The Emancipation of Harley Quinn?
Something. Oh, I have it right here. Okay. Yeah. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Yeah. And then eventually it did get changed to Birds of Prey. So that was more of an official change, and rightfully so, because that is impossible to put that on a ticker or signage or you know. But in this case, New Avengers is just for marketing purposes, I think. I don't think it's anything you have to worry about changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least we haven't heard any.
I don't think so. That would be a disaster. I was worried the whole time leading up to Thunderbolts because of that asterisk. That it was going to change last minute and it was going to ruin the ticketing and everything, but no. Mm-mm.
So it doesn't seem like they're making a big deal out of that?
No, we're still calling it Thunderbolts. Disney's still calling it Thunderbolts. So I think it's just a marketing move. Yeah.
That's kind of what I figured as well. So if Disney's keeping it as is, then I suggest keeping everything else as is. But just for that aside, things looking good right now.
Yeah.
I think Thunderbolts can play pretty well for these next 3 weeks or so before we get into that Memorial Day corridor, obviously. And then you guys were talking about like June and what titles to choose from like Ballerina and How to Train Your Dragon and Karate Kid. I was hearing a bit. So yeah, we're just heading into, we are in summer now.
Yeah. Which is a great feeling.
Definitely.
Options to choose from. Like obviously there's ones that we kind of lock in since we do a lot of singles and twins, but it's still nice to have options. And all of them great, really. I mean, realistically, they're all going to crush it. So
for sure.
It's nice to be in that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the juiciest topic for the day, which is the story that I came across after Netflix had Greta Gerwig, who directed Barbie, to make their Chronicles of Narnia movie, which naturally was always going to be a streaming movie because that's just what Netflix does. That is just the name of the game at this point. But it did come out a little bit after that deal was made that Greta Gerwig fought to have her movie be played in movie theaters. I suggest that's probably because Barbie smashed as hard as it did. So she had no idea that she was going to have like that power pretty much, that it was going to be a hit like that. So of course, when you're a director that gets success in theaters, you would want your movie to play in theaters. So what they came up with was that Netflix and IMAX made a deal to only have Chronicles of Narnia be screened at IMAX theaters, to which it seemed to have riled up all of the other studios and seemed to have riled up even some chains such as Regal Cinemas, which I think was the one being quoted in the article that I'm seeing through AV Club, that they just did not like that IMAX made this agreement with Netflix.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like some of the IMAX theater owners aren't very happy about it either, being forced to play Narnia, because it said in the article that if the theaters don't want to play it, IMAX has a nuclear option to force them to play it,
Oh,
which
interesting.
which I'm assuming is like taking them off the IMAX list or whatever, taking them off that branding.
It's a threat.
Yeah, it's a threat, which is crazy.
And the timing of it too, and around Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
next year I believe is
Next
what it
year or
said.
2 years from now,
Uh-huh.
probably.
Which is always a huge release era.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
So
Yeah.
and to hijack IMAX screens for that, and who's of course like the movie will probably be good, but it's just Netflix strong arming, and then also going back and forth like, oh, you can't trash movie theaters, and then be like, oh, hey, actually, yeah, we're gonna have this run in movie theaters. It's like, what are you doing?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And is it gonna?
sorry,
Oh no,
Shayla.
sorry. Is it gonna be like in Netflix the same day it's in IMAX?
I would think that there is a windowing period, so
They
it probably...
I think in the article they said December for Netflix.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay.
so a little bit of a window for theaters. But
They did
Yeah.
that for the Knives Out sequel, Glass Onion. They
Okay.
played it a little before Thanksgiving, if I remember right. Gave that a few weeks.
and only a
then-
few screens, right? It wasn't like a huge run either, from what I saw.
I'll have to double check that. I thought it was actually... No, it probably was pretty limited, but I remember the pop of it was pretty big. Like, it was a 20 million opening on a very limited screen count, which
That
was
makes sense.
really impressive.
Yeah.
And then it did go to streaming on Christmas, which that plan makes sense. It was kind of smart, as much as I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But no, it's just once again Netflix strong arming, but also having their cake and eating it too. It's just, it just is frustrating that it's just a game that they play, and it's like there's no real strategy to what they do.
No.
I mean, I guess for the director of the Knives Out movies and for Greta Gerwig in particular, if you have proven they have cachet for box office, then you should probably take advantage of that. But even still, there's plenty of other directors and sizable movies that they've made and have made produced, but they're only strictly streaming. So yeah, it's funny to hear that even some of the other studios who don't really there's no reason for them to really get involved with Netflix and like what their decisions are, but even they're kind of annoyed by it.
Yeah.
He's being super disrespectful to the industry.
Oh,
Like,
always.
They're just doing what they want.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just for me at this point, I've just kind of accepted that Netflix is only a streaming service and they're not going to be theatrical, which is totally fine by me. But when you keep making these decisions, like, I don't know. And I think I wonder if it's odd for the consumer as well. Like, I wonder if it's odd for the consumer to see like a Netflix movie appearing in theaters, or do you think,
Or
like,
do they even know it's Netflix? Like, I mean, I guess they could know, but like, does that matter to them?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
That's a good question. That would
don't
be
know.
a question for somebody outside of the industry.
Yeah. I'll ask. Yeah, maybe we'll have to ask our families. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
what do you think of when it comes around to it? What do you think of Chronicles of Narnia? How does
Yeah.
it look?
Yeah.
And see if they even mention that it's Netflix or not, or if they even know.
I mean, it was just such a huge part of my childhood,
Oh,
and
for
like
sure.
being from smaller towns. Usually, I've never been to an IMAX. I don't even know where IMAXs are. I think the nearest IMAX to us is like an hour away or something.
Yeah.
2, yeah,
Yep.
an hour or 2.
Two, yeah, absolutely. So taking that away from everyone, including like kids in smaller towns and everything like that, is just really sad to me.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a great point too.
Yeah, but then Netflix has that argument, right? Of like, well, it's going to be in your home. Yeah, it's going to be in your home anyway.
Yeah.
So why would you want to travel out for it?
To make memories with your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang, what are you talking about? You must be a great parent, Ted. Jesus.
I remember, I don't know, it was someone in Netflix that I was reading about, and they were telling this story about how like they were growing up with movies at home rather than being able to go out to the theater just because, you know, they weren't able to afford it, which is fair. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also grew up that way. I didn't really go out to the movie theaters all that frequently.
Same.
But even still, I was able to have great memories from both. And I especially have stronger memories from the movies that I saw in theaters, even the bad ones.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
definitely. It was like a special occasion to go out to the movies for sure. And I think it was a lot cheaper back then. It was an affordable form of entertainment.
Sure.
Now you go out and it's like $70, whatever. That's okay. Everybody's got to make money. But it is like a special thing to go out with your parents. I remember going out to Transformers with my dad and him being so excited about it.
Yeah. No, same with my dad when Avengers and all that stuff was in its hype. That was
Right.
I never went to the movies with my dad. Not that often, but that's like a distinct memory that I have.
Yeah.
And like a packed theater on a midnight release. Like
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. Times have changed, I guess.
I'm looking
Yeah.
back at the article here, and I am seeing that the reason why Disney specifically is mad about this happening is because they have an animated movie for the same weekend. So it's not
Yeah,
even
there it
it's
is.
not even the fact that they were like, well, why are you doing this for IMAX
Curse
at
you,
all?
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that something's in our way.
Yeah, of
and
course.
it's the same demographic.
Of course.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I'm seeing also Lionsgate is scheduled to have a Hunger Games movie coming out that same
Oh,
weekend.
that's right. Mhm.
Or at least like a little before that, probably. But
Around the time frame.
yeah, but I don't know if Lionsgate is,
Spicy.
spicy about it. But Disney, yeah, you know what? That actually makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking out for number one.
But that's still funny too, because for the amount of IMAX screens that they have, like, is that any way gonna hurt whatever Disney movie is gonna be coming out? Really?
I wouldn't think. I mean,
And
I
it's
don't
not gonna be gone for
know.
that
For
long.
IMAX, like, I don't know. Maybe that's personal preference. I don't really care about seeing anything on the IMAX unless it's like Sinners or
Sure.
something that's filmed for it, epic action. That's more so my thing.
Not for Moana 3.
Not for me.
No, I guess it would look good, but like,
It would no. I mean, it would look great, but
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they film stuff for IMAX? Does Disney have movies for IMAX? I never
I
hear
don't
that.
know. I never really looked. I mean, obviously the format's available, but I don't know if it's anything. I'm sure now with how maybe the craze is a way to say it of filming things for IMAX. Maybe they will start. Maybe other studios will start like, oh, this was filmed for this, and then go from there. But I don't know.
That is an interesting point. Like, it has felt like lately that is like the trend to highlight that these movies are coming out on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah.
Coming out in IMAX. Yeah, and I guess that's just a way to entice more audiences to come back to the theaters, but I kind of thought that would have died down a little bit.
Well, especially with it being, I would say, probably a higher price point too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I had back in New York, I had the AMC membership, and with the subscription, it was the same price. Everything was included in any ticket you could get.
Yeah.
So if people
Yeah.
are doing more deals, and then it is that same price point, then yeah, maybe price isn't a factor for that. I don't know.
I guess not. Yeah.
For ticket wise.
Yeah. Shayla, you got anything on that, or?
No, I've never been to an IMAX because my dad gets migraines from them. So that's the only thing I know about
I mean, that's
IMAX.
a valid point too.
You gotta take her
It's
to
a
an
ma-
IMAX.
It's a massive we do. Road trip to Billings.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know why I remember this, but I remember seeing Infinity War in IMAX, and there's one scene where it's like over Thanos' shoulder, like the camera is like supposed to be from that position or whatever, and he's like moving his arm or something, and like you can see the individual hairs moving on his arm on like this giant screen.
That's
And,
pretty
like,
cool.
I know, exactly. I was like, that's
Yeah.
really impressive.
for sure. That's awesome.
Anyway, I don't know. That just popped in my head, but anyway, IMAX is great, but
IMAX is great.
yeah. So I don't know. It's just always annoying and rolling your eyes whenever Netflix, pulls something like this. But it's just also, I don't know, so specific. Or not really, because I guess it's going out a bit wider as compared to what Netflix usually does, where it's only in like specific markets. I don't know why I'm trying to make a silver lining out of that, but
This is your positive guy.
oh,
You are
thank
a
you.
positive guy. Yeah.
Wow. I really shouldn't be for this topic. I'm really over them. All right. Well, enough about all the industry talk. Let's talk about something more fun. Let's talk about the popcorn bucket pick, the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Who wants to start
good.
this off?
Shayla, go for it.
I thought it was great. I thought Aretha Franklin and Cab Calloway and
You hadn't seen it before,
I
right?
hadn't seen it before. No. And Ray
I think
Charles.
that's all of us, right?
I had, but it's been a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I thought they were great. I didn't think that the main two people were great, singers.
Belushi and Aykroyd.
Yeah, they
Oh,
weren't.
great singers. Yeah, agreed.
They didn't blow me away or anything, especially with the other acts, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But like, it was still a great movie.
Yeah, that was my thing with Aykroyd and Belushi. It was more so that they were just entertaining.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
were
for sure.
in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just was appreciative of them going full, not crazy, but just full on nuts for like just
Yeah.
the dancing sequences and
Oh
just
my gosh.
getting the
That's
crowd
so
going.
funny.
Yeah, like they have the stage presence and
Yeah,
they
they
made
do,
it look
yeah.
entertaining. And then you hear them sing, you're like, all right.
They're fine.
Okay.
They're okay.
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
better than me. I can
Oh, yeah,
admit that.
definitely.
Yeah.
Way better than me.
Even still, I just was. I just found that to be very funny.
Yeah.
For myself, I knew of Blues Brothers, but I never knew like the plot or what it was. So I only ever saw them in like the glasses and hats and stuff. So in my head, I was like, oh, it's like it's obviously a comedy, but it's like a crime thriller comedy, like a
Yeah.
detective story. And in the first few minutes, I felt pretty good about my prediction. Because it opens with Belushi coming out of the prison, and I'm like, all right, it feels a bit more serious, but like it'll get funny eventually.
Yeah.
And then midway through, like they're visiting the nun, and they need to give her the money and stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're on a mission from God to save this orphanage or church or whatever it is, and then later there's like musical acts like coming and going, and then I'm like, I don't think this is a detective story.
This isn't what I thought it was.
I'm starting to think this is something else entirely.
So great though.
But I was delighted by like the odes to blues music
Yeah.
specifically because I imagine like this is a bit from SNL, so I don't know. I just don't recall
I
like
don't remember.
the full on bit from that
Yeah.
if there is one, but I just assumed it was kind of gonna be like an extended version of that maybe for
That makes sense.
a few minutes, and that it wasn't gonna be anything else. But at the very least, it was nice that they were like, you know what, if we're gonna make like a movie about the blues,
You
let's
gotta
at least
yeah.
throw like the legends a bone and
Yeah.
do
for real.
something about it.
Oh, it was so good. It was so fun to see all those acts throughout and just such great music. And
Yeah.
obviously the rest of it is just so absurd with the car
It is.
chases and everything, but it's so cool to see it.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
talking, and just that it's so all the practical effects,
Yeah.
the sets, and especially the end and all those extras for all those shots and it blows my mind. But
Yeah.
it was just such a massive production, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah. Back when they had the money to like just
Yeah.
put cop cars in a big smash up pile.
I mean,
Dropping cars from
Yeah,
God
that
knows
was
where.
crazy.
I don't know if they have money or what, but it's just it's nice to see practical be fully used
Yeah.
Yeah, and celebrated, honestly.
and,
It
and
was-
celebrated for
yeah.
sure. It was one of those moments watching like the climax of that scene, just being like, wow, that one person is directing everything and everyone.
Yeah.
Because that's a massive shoot, even though it's like a smaller comedy, like in terms of things.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
yeah, just wild that they were able to pull that kind of stuff off. Humor wise, for me, I think it's the absurdity of everything that makes me laugh. I don't think it's like the humor itself or like the jokes necessarily landing, which
No.
that part I was
Yeah.
kind of disappointed by. But
Yeah.
I think the absurdity and being in on the ride was the enjoyment factor of it all for me, not so much like the actual comedy of it.
I'd agree with that.
And not that the comedy's bad, or I don't think it like ages poorly or anything. It just isn't that strong to me.
No.
I don't know.
The only part that really got me was Ray Charles hanging the poster upside down. That was hilarious. That cracked me up.
I winced at that one, but I was like, well, it's him hanging it up. I guess he's fine with it. I don't know. I guess you gotta laugh at stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
No, the absurdity of it is funny, and it was a very good pick by the mystery contributor of the show. Did you guys have anything else you want to add on?
No, I think
No.
that wraps it up nice.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So
Oh
who wants to be
my.
picking next?
Me? Oh no.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Okay.
What do we got?
There's a doodle. Once bitten.
Oh,
Let's
I've
look
never
this
heard of that.
up.
You have there's
I feel like that's Cody.
that's got to be Cody. There's a little vampire.
It's
I
something
love
Look
that.
at that.
Vampire movie. I should have guessed that.
Once
Bitten.
Bitten.
Wait, is this?
Oh no, what
no,
is it?
it's not. It's not. It's a Jim Carrey movie
Oh,
from
yay.
1985.
Okay.
I don't know this one.
I've never heard of it.
What's the vampire movie with the kid with the glasses from Jerry Maguire? Do you guys remember the name of that one?
What, like Lost Boys?
No,
no?
no. Not the little boy from Jerry Maguire.
Ooh, it's been a minute. I don't remember.
It's like a family comedy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was thinking it was that one for some reason, but no, this is something entirely different.
Wow.
Jim Carrey vampire movie. I'm here for it.
This is gonna be wild. Okay.
This was definitely
looks
before
like
his rise to fame, right?
I had
Or
to
at
be.
least just starting there.
Yeah.
1985. Yeah, he was like a big in the 90s.
Big
yeah,
90s.
that must be it. All right, that'll be really cool.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very intrigued for sure.
All right, and I think that wraps everything up for this episode. We'll just keep the summer going because it's looking bright and we have plenty of upside heading into these next few weeks. So everyone enjoy your weekend and we'll be back with another episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.